Okay, here's another thing that you can do to replace a fence post to where it will not cost you a lot of money. First thing you're going to want to do is remove a few of the fence boards, some of the 1x6 or 1x8 in this case, and then remove the fence post that is damaged. Now most of these fence posts, depending upon how badly they are damaged, will actually just pull right out of the ground. This one has probably been damaged for about 3 years, hasn't been doing its job. It's actually been held up by another section of the fence. So it popped right out. You can see what's left in there is a small section of the redwood fence post. Let's take a closer look at the hole here. We have a piece of the 4x4 fence post that is badly damaged. We've got wood rot and termite damage. This actually took me about 2 to 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes to remove the entire post. So do whatever you have to do. Sometimes you're going to run into a fence post where it might have just recently snapped off and it's not going to be rotted. You're going to have a nice solid chunk of wood down there. And if you have that, you can usually get the wood out by drilling holes into the fence post, slowly removing the material, and then of course get some chisels out and pry bars, whatever it takes to chip the post apart and get it out of there. So there are a few different methods. Get a little creative there. And of course the next thing would be the vacuum. This is going to be your most important tool or part of the process. Get the vacuum right when you get the post out and vacuum as much of the debris away as possible to eliminate the chances of the debris actually falling back into the fence post hole. Now what happens with some of this debris is it'll actually wedge its way into some of the holes, work its way into the holes, or drop down in between the fence post that you're trying to get out and the concrete, kind of creating a wedge and not letting you pull it out. So clean as much of the debris as possible constantly. Now here's what I actually pulled out of the hole. You can see it's a small 4x4 post that is damaged. This thing right here I could break apart with my hands. And of course the hole that is clean, make sure you clean it out, vacuum as much dirt and debris out as you possibly can, and then you need to shave your post down. If you just go and stick a regular 4x4 into this hole, it isn't going to go very deep. You might be able to put it in about 2 or 3 inches. However, you never know. Take your original 4x4 and slide it into the hole. If it slides in, great. If it doesn't, then you're going to need to get a planer or something to shave some of the post down. So the main thing is shave a little bit off the post, put it back in the hole, see if it's too tight, shave a little more off, and keep working your way down until the post either slides into the hole all the way or until it isn't going to take a lot of effort for you to tap it in with a sledgehammer into the hole and create a nice tight fit. So either way, take a little bit off until you have a nice fit. And again, there is another problem I just thought of that you could run into, and that would be if you actually purchase a post that's 4 inches by 4 inches square, and you just pulled one out that was 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. If that's the case, you should consider going down and purchasing a smaller post. And of course the same thing, if you purchased a 3.5 inch post and you just pulled out a post that's 4 inch out of a 4 inch hole, you might think about purchasing a larger post. You might need to get a little creative, you might not. You could actually pull your post out and put another post back in without any problems at all. So, and don't forget, if you get a smaller post and it's going into a larger hole, you could always cut shims or wedges, something to drive into the footing in between the post and the concrete to stiffen everything up if you want to. So other than that, get the post back in, the concrete footing, and nail the fence back together, and you are done. Of course, my fence might not look as nice as your fence, but like I said, this video wasn't about building a new fence. It was about saving a couple of dollars.